we've just got one more topic to finish out this section. So far, everything we've looked at is starting with our initial investment and figuring out what the value is going to be in the future. Now let's suppose we're thinking about it from the other side of things, where we know how much we want to have in the future. How much do we need to start with as our principal? Okay, so it ends up actually being the same formula. So these are very common themes, right? Like suppose we want to save up for a down payment in 5 years. We want $40,000 saved up. How much am I going to need to put into account that's earning interest over that time? Or we want to save up for our kids' college tuition, and we want to know how much we need to put in now so that it'll be enough in 18 years, or over a much longer time scale. Suppose, we want to have $1 million saved for retirement. How much do I need to actually be putting in now? Okay, so when we start with that compound interest formula that we've been using so far, right, where we've got multiple compounding periods, that's what this N is here, literally all we have to do is rearrange it. So what I've done is just, how you can just divide both sides by the same thing and it's an allowed thing in algebra? Well, what I did was I divided both sides of this equation by this whole big chunk right here, which left me just the principal on one side, and on the other side it was A divided by this giant thing here. Well, yeah, there we go. So that's our formula. Okay, so instead of plugging in our principal and finding out the future value, now we'll be plugging in our future value and finding out what the principal is. Okay, so that would be what we'd do if it were compound interest. And it's the same idea if it were simple interest, where I'd start with that simple interest formula, divide both sides by this 1 plus RT, like whole chunk right here. And when I do that, I'm just left with my principal over here, which is what I want to solve for. And I've just got my future value divided by that total interest as a factor. Okay, so that's all we need to do. That's actually already in the formula sheet that I've given out for this section that we'll be using in this unit and the next unit that'll be dealing with annuities. So just use the formula that you see there and just know that you're solving for the present value, not the future value.